Welcome to this Windows channel, and today we're going to have a follow-up video on build 10547 of the Insider Preview Windows 10 Pro. I've been using it now for 48 hours solid. It's been my main computer because I wanted to really test it. One of the first things that I want to talk about is because it's a little puzzling to me. I've received a lot of comments and I've seen a lot of people in trouble with this build that seem not to, they seem mad and they seem not to understand one thing is that insider previews are not for everyone, especially in the fast ring. And if you have only one computer at home and it's your main computer that you use every day to do stuff, please don't install a build of Windows 10 from the Insider Preview. Don't go and activate Insider Previews in the fast lane in the settings. That's not a good idea. You know what? Insider Previews are not possibly going to have problems. Insider Previews will have problems. Almost all Insider's previews that I've tried had some glitches at some point. And actually I have some on 10547, a little more than the other builds. And that's being part of being a tech enthusiast that wants to see these features before everyone. To be an insider, first of all, you have to answer this question. Do you mind that if you try and see these new features before everyone, there might be some bugs and you might need to reinstall Windows completely in your machine? If you say you don't care and you'll reinstall anyway, then I think you should be an insider. Second of all, the machine I'm using now is dedicated to the insider previews. There's nothing else on this computer. It's just for that. It's the only thing I want to do with this computer. It's always going to be my experimental machine that I try new stuff, new builds, and try them for you also. By being part of my channel, you know what? One of the things that I hope you understand is that the reason I do this and I make these videos is also to show you and talk about these builds. And you don't have to necessarily install them. You'll see on my channel what I think, the problems I've encountered, and you can just have, a view of these builds without even installing them just by watching my videos. That's also something interesting. And unless you're a tech enthusiast or you really, really want to play around with a computer all the time, stay away from those builds. That's pretty much what I would say. Or at least stay in the slow ring. The slow ring and the fast ring, the difference is the fast ring. You get the previews that are buggy. The slow ring, you get the previews that are pretty much fixed thanks to the fast ring users that got the problems and reported them. So it's very important. Unless you really want to experience bugs and maybe have to reinstall Windows all the time, you should not be an insider. It's very important because I've seen that a lot of people on the channel seem a little mad, at the fact that, this build break my computer. Windows doesn't start. My computer doesn't start. Well, don't be mad because that's why we are insiders. To test it and be able to share the problems we have with Microsoft. It's part of being an insider in the fast ring. Now, that said, I've had a number of issues on this build. One of them is Cortana that seems to be very unstable on this build, much more than in the previous builds that I've used. I've tried all sorts of commands and stuff. It goes from not working at all to crashing right in the middle of something that I asked. I tried to put an appointment in the calendar just to see, and it crashed about 3/4 through the command. It started doing it. but then it crashed and it was like just didn't work. It could be because of the calendar app that has problems also. I've had some issues with Edge. Microsoft Edge seems to be less stable in this version. I've noticed that it freezes or crashes a little more here than it did before. And of course, they've updated some of the stuff in Edge, because you can see here by going through the bottom here that the build of Edge follows pretty much the build of Windows. So they've added all sorts of features, including possibility to make Skype calls without having any Skype installed, and that will eventually be a feature of Windows 10 in the Microsoft Edge browser. I've had issues where my notifications, the Action Center here, you see these little tiles with all settings and so on. I've had issues where they're all grayed out and none of them work. I can't click there. And the only way to fix this is to restart my computer. And I would say this happens maybe once every 3 or 4 restarts of Windows. So it seems there's some problem. But they did say that there are some problems with the Action Center. This one's a known issue, I think, in the notifications and the Action Center. I've had also kind of slowdowns after an hour and a half, 2 hours of use. Computer comes like to a crawl, and I just restart Windows, and everything comes back to normal and comes back at a good fast speed. So we see that this build has a few issues, and actually I get more problems in this build than I got in the last one, which was 10.5.32 or something. So these are my observations after 48 hours of use. And you know what? I'm not mad, because that's an insider preview, and that's why it might have glitches and problems. So this is a little bit of my observations right now about what's happening in my build. If you enjoy my videos, why not subscribe to my channel? You'll be informed when new videos are online. If you have any comments, questions, anything you want to know about Windows, if you have problems, share them with us. If you have problems with the insider preview, by the way, I don't think I can help you. You know what? It's an insider preview. Unless it's something that's already known. And thanks for watching the video.